Entrepreneurship can be really hard. And when you're doing it by yourself, trying to navigate the terrain, it can almost be impossible. That's why we created the Entrepreneur Circle. Every episode, you're going to hear from incredible entrepreneurs who are in the same trenches that you are in. And we're going to talk through what's working, what's not working, whether it be in marketing, finance, or anything in between. We're here to talk business and figure out how each of us can rise together. So welcome to the circle. Let's dig in. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Entrepreneur Circle. I am riding solo for today's episode. And I think this might be one of the most important solo episodes that I've recorded thus far. I've had some realizations recently that I want to share with you because they pose as pitfalls, as potholes on your journey as you build your company if you're not aware of it. And this whole game of entrepreneurship, we're just making this shit up as we go, aren't we? I mean, unless you've been doing this for years and years and years and you've already built a $150 million company, maybe you know a thing or two. All the rest of us are out here hustling, learning, growing, figuring out what and how we can serve others as we go. And only when we really experience and live the truth of entrepreneurship and what it takes do we understand what needs to be done. I have been running my company, Noble Media, for going on 7 years. And as I look back, that's a long time, relatively speaking. As you look back over that time frame, I see patterns in my business. And I see how my actions as a leader and as an owner resulted in XYZ. And more specifically, I want to tune into one lesson that I have learned that I want to focus this specific episode on. And that is this. We will have moments of momentum in our company's life cycle. These are moments. It is not normal or common for you to be in a steady uphill all the time. That's what we're after, right? Is scale, more. We're always looking for how can we grow? How can we up ourselves from last year? Let's grow 10%, 50%, 100%. Let's double, let's triple. Okay, that's amazing. But the reality is we are all out here planting seeds, watering the seeds. We are farming. We are out here farming, waiting for the day that we can harvest our crop. It's in cycles. You look at how in nature this shows up. And I find a lot of my life rules in nature, candidly speaking. We plant these seeds, we take care of them, and we continue that consistently. That's the name of this game. We continue to water the grass until it grows. That moment of growth where it's actually going to penetrate out of the soil, that's your moment of momentum. It is very important that you pour extra love, extra effort, extra energy into what you are doing in those moments of momentum. If we don't do that, if we are not here for our team in those scenarios, if we are not able to show up and lead from the front in those moments that we are seeing growth and traction in our brand, in our revenue, in our team culture, it's these moments of momentum show up in different parts of your business, right? It can show up in the numbers. That's how we see it regularly is, what did I do in 2025? What is my top line? What's my bottom line? Yes, that's what I'm talking about as well. But it also is creating synergy in your team. That's a moment of momentum. That moment where everybody has officially put their walls down and is laughing and joking on a team call for the first time when it's like multiple new people. That's a moment of momentum. That's a moment of momentum. If you're out here building relationships with your clients or with your partners and you really finally feel like you've connected, that's a moment of momentum. Client results. This is probably the most important thing. The moment you start seeing traction in your Instagram engagement, the moment you start seeing traction in your SEO, double down, okay? Double down. I'm serious. I feel like this is the most important thing that it's so easy to overlook because you finally start feeling a little bit of relief and you're like, ooh, everything I've been doing up to this point, yes, it's finally working. Oh, I can relax. No, don't relax. You can't relax. Stop it. We're not going to relax. We're going to double down and we're going to go hard, because right when the little leaf is coming out of the dirt, that's when you need to put it in front of the sun, depending on the plant. That's when you need to water it more. Think about it, care for it, because that's when it starts to come out and bloom. And we want our shit to bloom, don't we? That's why we're here. That's why we're entrepreneurs. That's why we started this business, is so that we can have time freedom, money freedom, that we can create opportunities for other people, that we can have an impact in our community. Okay, so if that's what you want, don't think for 1 second that when you start seeing some success that you've made it, because that shit will slip. That will slip as fast as you are removed. I share this from experience because I'd say it was probably 2024. Up to 2024, I have a podcasting agency. If you haven't been listening or know me, that's what I do. My company is Noble Media. Up to 2024, so that's 5 years. I went 5 years of serving small companies. I would bring on clients for $200 a month. Like if you're in the marketing agency world, you know, my God, Paresa, why would you do that? I was doing that for a long time. Okay. In 2024, and obviously this is a result of 5 years of brand positioning and getting there. 2024, we started landing our $5,000 a month clients. Minimum client landed about $2,500. Existing clients ramped up and doubled their services with us because it was going so well. And you know what I did? I went to Europe for a month. It was amazing. I took my kids, my husband and I took our kids. We stayed in Amsterdam, Rotterdam. We went to Paris for the Olympics. Oh my God, it was amazing. We got to see Bobby Fink, I think that was his name, break the world record for the 1,500 meter freestyle, whatever. I don't know. He won the gold medal. It was super cool. And although that is a sacred memory for us, we traveled the world with our kids. It was something I always wanted to do. The timing sucked. The timing sucked for me. We came back and it was very evident that I needed to be here right at the moment. It was literally, I remember doing onboarding calls in Rotterdam at it was evening for me out there. I was getting on with my team. My kids were running around in the background. You guys, that was not the time to detach for a month. And I think I share this now because I have learned so much through this process and building this company, that those moments of momentum, they are absolutely going to happen for you if you are consistent and planting the seeds and working hard and hustling. They're going to happen. It's inevitable. But how you respond in the moments that you start seeing a little bit of traction, start seeing yourself arrive to the place that you've been working to get to, how you respond will determine how long you will experience that. Or will you have to go back to square one and keep building and keep planting and start a whole new crop? Okay. So I hope that little bit of advice will run with you no matter what business you're in, no matter what industry, whether you're in network marketing and you're getting your friends to get your vitamins, or you're in, I don't know, the tech world. It doesn't matter if you have a plumbing company, if you have HVAC, no matter what, there's going to be a point where you start seeing a little bit of traction and you will have a choice to make. Do I push the pedal down and rev my engine and go for it until this becomes permanent? Or do I slip into the comfort, relief? Oh, finally, we made it. You can still feel that. You're still going to feel like, thank God you made it. Relief. Hell yeah. Celebrate. Go celebrate and then come back the next day at 6 a.m. and hustle harder than you've ever hustled. Go harder than you've ever gone in the moments of momentum, and you'll see your business actually break through in a more sustainable way. You know why? Because that's like the moment that you're entering a new level. And if you are just at the tip of it and you're just about to enter that level, but then you pull back, you'll slide back down to your comfort zone, to what you're doing, to what you've been doing. But if you double down and go hard until it becomes your new standard, that's what you're working for. Is once you start reaching that level of that momentum, of the threshold that you've been trying to break through, you got to go hard and pound the pavement until it becomes your permanent new standard. Because let's be real, we will only rise to our standard, not to our goals, not to our dreams. We're rising to the level and we're showing up consistently at the level that we think is acceptable for ourselves. So what are your standards? If you're really trying to grow and level up in your life, in your business, that moment that you see yourself succeeding is a very monumental moment in how you'll end up a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year down the line. Will you revert back to your old ways, or will you continue forward and pave this new path and settle in what you know you're capable of? Think about it. Hope that's helpful. Love y'all. Talk soon. Bye. Remember this as you go about your day today. The ideas that are on your heart are on your heart for a reason. Do not ignore them. Tune into them. Tap in, lean in, understand them, and pursue them. If not you, then who? If this episode was helpful to you in any way, please like, share, comment, subscribe. It does wonders for our efforts, and it helps us to continue our mission of inspiring entrepreneurs and giving them the resources and the perspective we all need to take it to the next level. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paresa Noble, and we'll catch you next time.